say you got to choose your side when it's done. Nobody right, nobody wrong. It ended in a great big fight, and when it's done, nobody right, nobody wrong.
They saw things that, God willing, you'll never see. I mean, they bombed places where kids were. I mean, where little babies were, and they had buddies die by their sides, and they saw horrific things.
The soldiers that went to Vietnam saw things no one should ever see. When they came back, they were broken, shattered, different. They weren't the same people they were when they left, and they didn't have it easy when they came back.
They couldn't find jobs, they couldn't find housing. They were not considered heroes when they came back from Vietnam, so they were very controversial. A lot of them were addicted.
When the vets returned home, they weren't welcomed as heroes. The Vietnam War was heavily protested, and soldiers were often seen as having done something wrong by going. This could be an explanation for why so many returned with PTSD. The number of Vietnam veterans that have had PTSD in their lifetime is more than double the amount from any other war. The reasons for this are unknown. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a condition of persistent mental and emotional stress occurring as a result of injury or severe psychological shock. Some symptoms of PTSD include involuntary, intrusive, or disrupting memories of the event, reoccurring nightmares, flashbacks, purposeful avoidance of stimuli, reoccurring negative thoughts, paranoia, and severe mood changes, as well as others. All of these can make it hard to function in daily life. Especially after Vietnam, but even today, veterans would turn to substances such as drugs and alcohol to help them escape from their daily life and better manage their symptoms. PTSD, coupled with this abuse of drugs and alcohol, could ruin veterans' lives. Many of them were cast out on the street, with their relationships ruined and their lives in disarray. People like my grandma took it upon themselves to help these veterans get back on their feet. Using therapies, they were able to help them adjust to civilian life. Even though their knowledge of PTSD and their resources were limited, they did everything they could to help.
It was fairly limited. We did pharmacology, which was medications. We mostly treated them. We treated their symptoms. So if they were agitated, we treated the agitation. If they were grief-stricken, which many vets were, we did grief therapy. We did a lot of psychotherapy. We did a lot of pharmacology. We didn't do as much family therapy and art therapy as we do now. Now we do art therapy, music therapy, group therapy, family therapy, social work. So we do a panorama of more therapy.
Using these methods and many others, nurses and doctors like my grandma were able to help these veterans get back on their feet. Not only did they help the veterans and their families, but they also brought awareness to the once unknown topic of PTSD. They paved the way for it to be talked about and treated for years to come. Soon, PTSD would even become a part of pop culture. Characters like Owen Hunt of Grey's Anatomy and movies like Brothers became a part of everyday life. Treating Vietnam veterans with PTSD helped us gain the acceptance of the topic and knowledge of how to treat it that we have today.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful to be able to work with the vets. It was educational. But I'm much more hopeful today in 2018 or 2016 when Obama was in, than I was in the 60s because the things have taken place. I'm much more hopeful. But I'm grateful for having had the chance. Like I said, I'll never see a veteran the same. I'm still in awe of what they done and did and had continued to do. So I'm grateful for the experience that was afforded to me.
War's a painful thing. The one argument none of us can't hide is the one that's raging down deep inside. Trying to make a point or have the last word, but most of the time people just trying to be heard. They say you got to choose your side, and when it's done,